Hey YouTube, Mark Kaufman here, and today I want to compare the Wenger Viking versus the Victorinox Tourist. Now these I would consider are exact comparison reviews. These are both competitors for the same market. This one is going to be 84 millimeters. This one is 85 millimeters. So let's get into it. So first off, both scales are going to be red. This one's going to be 84 millimeters. This one's going to be 85. Now let's take a look at the cap lifters. So the Victorinox has a half stop in its cap lifter with a slight lock. Now it doesn't have the exact same locking system as the Wenger. Victorinox went with a slight, I guess, divot lock, you could say, and it gives it a soft lock on the open end. And you do feel that it gives a little bit more tension than an exact 90-degree stop. When it comes to the Wenger, however, Wenger went with a patented system that they created back in the late 70s, and this system actually locks into place the cap lifter and it suppresses it into the handle slightly. I would say it would go about 2 millimeters in, and it locks it into place, which is very, very useful and very nice. Now these cap lifters are slightly different in size. However, there's more width here than there is on the Victorinox. So on the Victorinox, we've got 8.2. I'm going to just say 8.2 there. And then on the Wenger, we've got 8.6. Or I'll round that up to 8.7. So it's got a little bit more width, but not by much. So I'll close that up here. Then the Victorinox has a small pen blade, and this pen blade measures, the sharpened length measures 35.7 millimeters. I'm going to just say 35 millimeters. And the Wenger actually has a small clip point blade, which is very interesting. And this sharpened blade length measures, I'm going to say, almost exactly the same. I'd be lying. Let's see. Get it there. 36.5. So a little bit less. So we've got a little bit more cutting length here. Over on the Victorinox end, we've got the spear point, and the Wenger, we have this beautiful little clip blade. It's very nice indeed. Now, one of the things that is very interesting is Victorinox used to do a small clip blade, but they do not do it anymore. Back in 1975, they ceased doing that type of blade shape. No half stops on either of those. Let's compare the main blades. The Victorinox definitely has a more satisfying snap when it comes to opening and closing, I would have to say. And then when it comes to the Wenger, it's a little bit of a lighter snap, but we probably even have a thinner blade stock here. So blade stock on the Wenger is going to be 1.8. Blade stock on the Victorinox is going to be 2.15. We have a more traditional, I guess, spear point blade here, and then we have kind of a bellied spear point blade on the Wenger. The Wenger, I like the belly in here because it keeps materials trapped over here a little bit better than this one, but I have to say this one's a lot easier to sharpen. Now when it comes to the blade length on the main blades, we've got, and I'm measuring sharpened blade length. We've got 50, I'm going to say 54 there, 54 millimeters, and then over here we've got, I'm going to say 54 as well. So we've got 54 $154. Like I said, these are pretty much exact comparison numbers. Let's compare the handles once more. Obviously, they're both red, but let's see what the width is since I've got the calibers here. We've got 12.8 or 12.9. And then the width on the Vic is going to be 14. Now we've got the can openers. And what's interesting about the can openers is Victorinox used to use this claw type of can opener, but they invented this style in the 1950s and then gave the tooling over to Wenger for this one. So this is actually Victorinox's original styled can opener. They're both very different. I find the Wenger to be very effective. However, this one does have a small flathead screwdriver on the very tip of it, which is very useful. So we have compared all those tools. Now let's go to the back. And the Wenger has a nice cutout for the awl. That I've always loved that feature on the Wenger knives. It's really nice to have. But on the Wenger, we have a really nice long awl. And on the Victorinox, we also have a long awl, but the sharpened length is only going to be about, let's see, since I've got it here, it's going to be only about 27 millimeters in length. Whereas on the Wenger, we do not have a sharpened length. You're relying mostly on the 90-degree angles here to do all the cutting. So I'm going to measure that out as the cutting surface, and we've got a 39.2 cutting length there. Not as effective, but it will do the job. When it comes to the corkscrew, the corkscrews I have to say are practically the same. Let me take this micro tool out. Corkscrews are the same. No real big differences there. And when it comes to their thickness, we've got the Wenger at 2.7, and we've got the Victorinox at 2.7. So practically the same. And let's see if the Victorinox tool will fit. It's a little bit of a snug fit when it comes to putting that in, but you can kind of force it in there. It doesn't fit all the way. You can really kind of force it in there, and there it goes. Excuse me. So it doesn't fit perfectly, but you are able to get one of those in there. Now when it comes to the scale tools, those are also very different. The scale tools, one's going to be inboard, but this one has no scale tools. So Wenger used to do the inboard. On this model, there's no scale tools. And then on Victorinox, you have outboard. So that is my comparison of these two knives. They're both very different. However, one is no longer made. So you'll probably have to get that on the pre-owned market. Hope you guys enjoyed this comparison. Till the next one, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.